Okay. All right. Yeah. Guys, this isn't a practical joke. What you see here is a real smartphone. And in fact, right now I'm on a call. I just called my operator. It has also a speaker. Not only this, guys, it has a full functioning Android 10. It does have a back camera, 5 megapixel, a front camera, only 2 megapixels. We do have also a flash, guys. Alright, and the screen size is 3-inch. You know, the thing here, guys, is like this. If something is there and it works, it's a clear win for this very small form factor. The screen resolution is 845 by 480p, which of course isn't great, and it's powered by a MediaTek chip, guys, the MTK 6735. Stunning, guys. This chip has been released almost 11 years ago. It's built on a 28 nanometer process, and it has an ARM Mali GPU, Mali 720. So although it doesn't really sound impressive, what is impressive is that everything here, guys, works. It's powered by Android 10, which is also a compromise because who knows what is going to happen in the next years. But for now, all the apps that I tested works. And this is also what you're going to see in the video. This is YouTube, this is social things like Messenger, you know, with video calls. Also some basic gaming, navigation as well, all right? So guys, if you want to check more about this little fun phone that can really fit in your palm, make sure to watch this full video. I'm gonna do an unboxing, show you, what is inside, because believe it or not, this is a small phone and it comes with a small case. They did not just send a case, they did also send a screen protector, all right? So it's really interesting, guys. I'm really a big fan of small phones. I did videos on the small phones that I own, such as the Sony Xperia X10 Pro and X10 Mini. And this thing is a whole other level because it's a proper smartphone, everything fully functional. 2 SIM cards, and you can also insert 1 SIM card and a micro SD. And by the way, it does have 3 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage. And yeah, I know it looks like a small iPhone. This makes it only look cooler. All right, let's start. And guys, a blast from the past before I start my full review. This thing here is the Sony Xperia X8, released 15 years ago. I do believe it's June 2010, with a battery of 1200 mAh and with a CPU clocked at only 600 MHz. And this thing here is 3-inch, okay? So you can compare it. This thing here is the Soyes phone 3-inch as well, and a whooping 1500 MHz CPU, and this is the side-by-side comparison. But I'm gonna show you something even more interesting. This thing here is the Sony Ericsson Xperia X10 Mini Pro. This has been released February 2010, again 600 MHz CPU and a battery size of only 930 mAh, guys. But it's 2.55 inch, and you can see how this thing compares, all right? So yeah, it's just a bit tinier than the Soyes phone, and I really love it. Like, I really love this one in particular because it has a keyboard. I mean, yeah, remember these days there was a company called BlackBerry, researched in motion rim. Yeah, nobody even remembers this, but okay, now that I did that, it's time to finally put this baby on my review table and see what it can do. So let's unbox this baby and see what I have inside. Okay, so this is a mobile phone, guys. I'm not joking. But before I open this, let's see. Okay, there are some other things inside. All right. What? This is a mobile phone's case and even a screen protector. This is amazing. And of course you got a USB-C to USB-A cable. We do have a SIM card ejector. Nice design. And here we do have the user manual in several languages. User manual, all right, you can insert a SIM card and stuff like that. But guys, the main star is this thing here. I bought this from Temu. I think it was like 50 euros, so it's not exactly very cheap, but the smallest mobile phone that is a real mobile phone. Let's start with the form factor. It comes in a very popular candy bar design, and yeah, I know it mimics clearly iPhone, all the icons, and of course also the camera layout at the back. So down below, guys, we do have the speakers and the USB-C port. On the right hand side we do have the power button. I'm not sure what it is, probably a microphone. And this thing here is the SIM card tray. two SIM cards or one SIM card and a micro SD. On this side we have the volume rocker. This is the thickness, by the way, it's almost like one finger, which is impressive. And on the back we have the smartphone, all right, Soyes, and here we have the camera array with a flashlight. Now, okay, two cameras are fake, there is only one back camera and it is 5 megapixels. Alright, it's time to start the review, but you're thinking, where the heck is the phone? No, guys, this isn't that. That's my Vivo S200 Ultra 6.82 inches, guys. I'm gonna show you the difference between almost 7 inches and something that is so tiny. Because guys, the only good way for you to just understand how small this thing is when I do something like this. To put it into a context, this is really small. This is a small form factor. So I want to reiterate this again. This phone cannot do many of the things that this phone can do, but it can do a lot of the basic things that this phone can do. And just by doing those things, like successfully passing, I'm thinking, hey, this is not a bad start. Also, this thing costs something like 65 euro. It can support 2 SIM cards. Also, you can extend your storage with micro SD, so it ain't that bad. All right, let's start with the first thing. I'm gonna start device hardware info, and I'm gonna try to walk you, and I'm gonna take the phone in my hand because it's so tiny, guys. I think that it's better for you. So the device name, XS16. The resolution is 480 by 854. The platform here, all right, the SoC is MediaTek MTK 6735. And believe it or not, but this is a chip that I think was released almost 11 years ago, built at 28 nanometers, and it was always like aimed at tiny mobile devices and tiny, let's say, devices using Android. It's powered by the Cortex A53 4 cores, and I do believe that they're clocked at 1500 megahertz. Now, this particular thing here is 1092 megahertz. And yeah, it has an ARM Mali GPU, the 720. All right, the system, by the way, on this thing is Android 10, which is not that bad because the previous version not only has 2 gigabytes of RAM and a smaller storage, it does also run on Android 8. And Android 8 in 2025, where we get it, Android 16 is going to be problematic with compatibility and etc. So right now, Android 10 is still not the best, but at least everything that I was able to install here on my phone, which you're going to see in this video, was running without an issue. So the screen, as I told you, 854 by 480. Yeah, it is a smaller screen, but it can, by the way, get bright. So I don't think this is more than like 400 nits or something like this, but definitely bright for indoors use, and I think barely usable when we are outside. What about the memory? I told you I'm rocking the 3G version, and it's LPDDR5 memory. The internal storage, guys, 64 gigabytes. I'm not sure, UFS probably 2.1. What about the camera? That's interesting. We do have a front camera, and we do have 3 cameras on the back, but 2 of them are fake. And the main back camera is a 5 megapixel camera, right? It can do some things. I'm gonna show you also some video and photo samples, and it can also record video 1280 by 720p, so HD. And we do have the front camera with 2 megapixels, guys. I mean, I know it's nothing, but it's still there and it works. The battery, 2000 mAh. Later in the video, you're gonna see some charging tests. It's rather slow charging, but with this small of a screen size, this thing can work for a full day, probably a day and a half. Now, what about the sensors, guys? As you can see, in total, I was able to identify only 3 sensors. All right, so we do have the accelerometer, the light and the proximity, no magnetometer, no gyroscope, no barometer, and it's time for us to test it. So I'm just now testing the accelerometer, and as you can see, yeah, the sensor works. This is important for things like games and other stuff. What about the light sensor? Okay, so this is the light sensor. Now, I'm not sure really how this is supposed to work, but as you can see, I'm not able to somehow like dim the light. I'm not even sure where the sensor is. If I try to dim here, nothing's gonna work. But the sensor is here, and yeah, I'm able to query it. So again, it's a sensor by MTK. And then last but not least, we have the proximity sensor. This thing works, by the way. I guess it's a virtual sensor, but you can see the moment I put my finger over here, it's going to register this. All right, something like that. I think, yeah, 1 centimeter. So it isn't that bad at all, guys. And now I'm gonna talk more about the screen. If I go inside the screen test, I want to show you the touch drawing because it's important. Initially, when I was testing this phone, I had some perception that I was not able to kind of register my fingers and my gestures here on the corners. But now I think with this test, you can see it's pretty okay, right? So I can really go here, top and bottom, okay, left, right, it seems to be working. And there is something else that I think you should know, and it's kind of cool, and I wanted to show this to you guys. This is the multi-touch. If I do this test on my Vivo, I'm able to register, you know, like all my 5 fingers, probably even more. Here, I can do 1 finger, 2 fingers, all right. Yep, 2, see, I have now 2 fingers, and I cannot register another one, right? So here we do only support a multi-touch with 2 fingers, which is just like basically enough for swiping and zooming in and out. This is the display at full brightness, and see I can regulate it from here, right? So it's not exactly a very bright thing, but I would say it's still viewable. So even under direct sunlight, you're still able to use that phone. So I'm not sure, probably 500, 400 nits. And then again, it's not even close to the best performance phones, but hey, it is usable. And as I said in the beginning of the video, if it works, I'm just going to count it as a win. Let's test some navigation. I'm going to open Google Maps. I'm going to try to locate me. All right, it did already. Let's go to the seaside. I'm going to click Varna. I'm going to check directions first. All right, it's finding me the best route, and now I'm going to start navigation. Let's see if this is going to work. All right, as you can see, guys, performance is a bit mediocre. But hey, with a MediaTek from almost 11 years, this thing still rocks, and yeah, you can still use it also for navigation. Now I can click here and kill it. This is now the Soyes XS16, guys, and I'm inside a Facebook Messenger call, and as you can see, you know, even the front camera works. This tiny phone has really everything. The camera, okay, it's one camera, the flash, and also a 2 megapixel front camera. And you can see, guys, and by the way, I'm also able to go here and turn to the back camera. All right, yeah, it's not the most powerful chip. We know it's an MTK for like almost 8 years, probably even 10. But the fun fact is, everything really works, and this is cool. And I can also, of course, just go here and initiate my recents menu. All right, and then if I want, I can kill it, and etc. So if you want to do voice calls with this phone, you're gonna be able to do so. And it's not going to be the most pleasant experience, but it's going to work, and this is such an impressive thing. And I'm not even sure how I can compare it with something real that you can see, but I'm going to show you. This is my betta fish, and this isn't the phone, and the phone is almost like, okay, almost like twice the size of a fish. It's a very small phone, and you can see me holding it in the hand like this. This is going to also fit in every pocket, guys. Like almost no phone inside. So there are certainly benefits with this 3-inch beautiful and small smartphone. Let's talk about the battery and the charging speed. So this phone uses a 2000 mAh battery, but as you can see, the charging is rather slow for something that is only 2000 mAh. And with Ampere, you can see that, yeah, again, I'm using the charger here. This is a very powerful brick, and it's pumping 110 to 200 mAh. So charging is rather slow. But the good thing is that the battery will last almost like one full day. Oh, 280. Yeah, and I guess with the screen off, most probably it can go up to like 350. This phone can for sure last for 1 day. Yep, because I was using it yesterday, starting from 70%, and just now, which is almost like 24 hours, it still had like 20% juice. So yeah, 400 and something. So I guess with the screen off, it's gonna be able to pump some more juice. But yeah, charging is rather slow. Another useful feature for this thing is, yeah, you can use this as a USB mass storage device. Okay, it doesn't really have that much on board, only 64 gigabytes, but you can use a micro SD, and you can for sure hook it up to your PC. Yeah, the way I did just now. So it's a full-featured phone, a very tiny phone with a very small heart, but very usable and friendly. Now, let's talk about the OS. I think it's a custom build on Android 10, and it really looks like Android 10. If you've been watching my videos about One UI and Pixel UI and iOS, I mean, you know this is really dated. But, you know, it will still give you access to most of the important features. When you go inside, you have like just very small and tiny menu. We have network and internet, connected devices, apps and notifications, you know, the battery, the display. And by the way, you'll have more than just the basic settings, like even using a dark theme or changing the wallpaper. And by the way, also, using the night light if you want to do so. I'm using this with a custom schedule, and of course there is the brightness level that you can set if you want. So although very basic, I guess more than just the standard stuff are there. We have also sound and vibration. By the way, I'm gonna be testing the sound. It's hearable, all right? I think it's barely doing the work that it's supposed to do, but it's still gonna work. And yes, there is also a vibration, and this vibration isn't the best around, but it's here, which means that if that's in your pocket, there is probably a tiny chance for you picking this up. We have the storage with a storage manager when you can check your photos and videos and your games. A lot of the things are there, and given the fact that it's Android 10, it's a bit worrying because Android 10 is rather old. You have all the permissions and stuff like this. You can use all the Google services and etc. But it's gonna be problematic, I guess, in terms of security. We do have location, we do have security, you have the account manager, and there is, by the way, something interesting, guys. I've seen this in some Chinese tablets, the DuraSpeed. This is an application that can restrict your apps by not running in the background, so you can enable this if you want. And then, of course, we have the About phone. So this is the About phone. And by the way, there is also the system updater, but this currently seems to be the latest firmware, because when I was checking for updates, I wasn't able to fetch anything, and I'm not even sure if they're gonna put any new updates. I checked, all the security updates are just like this, so I think this is it. Like, this is just going to be this update for this phone. So if you buy it like I did, this is what you're gonna get. All right, we have also gestures, by the way, but you can only use them limited, so you have to navigate with this button here. It's a standard Android thing. This will get you to the recents menu. All right, this will get you to the home screen, and this is a back gesture. By the way, just see, guys, by doing this, it doesn't really feel slow. And comparing it with some of the older phones that I showed you in the beginning of this video, you know, with really old Androids and with slow CPUs, this thing is gonna work, I guess, barely okay, but still acceptable, right? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Now let me show you some of the network settings. By using a rather old MTK chip, we do have only 4G. But guys, there is something called 4G calling, and I was really surprised to see that this thing here says VoLTE. I didn't really expect this one. But guys, now I'm on mobile data and not on Wi-Fi, and what I want to show you is a real speed test. Again, it's 4G, right? So it should be, yeah, very much limited compared to 5G, but it's also going to be a good indication on what you can expect with a phone like this. All right, I'm thrilled. I think anything more than 100 Mbps will work fine. Yeah, all right. 26, 30, 35 Mbps download and 10 Mbps upload. You can divide this by 8 to get the megabytes per second. Yeah, I know, we have to manage our expectation, but you know, at this point of time, it works, and if it works, I think that's good. Also, I wanted to show you something interesting, guys. When I go inside Play Store, all right, and let's say that I want to install Geekbench. Looking for Geekbench 6? Yeah, this app won't work for your device. And I installed the CPDT benchmark. This is gonna give us a good indication on storage speed, RAM speed, and etc. All right, so let's test. This is the sequential read right now, and I know this is very small, guys, but you might as well wanna zoom up the video. I'm not sure what is happening here, but I think that we might have a problem, and yeah, I think this just hang. But guys, let me try to measure some temps here. 44 Celsius on the front. Let's try to see on the back. 43, so I think this is already like stretching this tiny little phone, and yeah, you can see we're barely scratching 50 megabytes per second for sequential write. All right, a bit higher, 105 for sequential read, and then random write, it's only 2 megabytes per second. Random read is 420. Yeah, but I think the phone kind of died on me, so now I have to restart it. So let's see how this thing works. I'm gonna press the power button. I really hope that this wasn't the end for this small phone, but I don't think that it's okay to break from just like one tiny test. I tried to hook it to my PC, but yeah, nothing happened. But then, guys, I just removed the SIM card, so maybe the modem just hung up. Now, this is, by the way, the SIM card tray. You can see we can install 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and a micro SD. What I'm gonna try to do right now, I'm gonna pop up the SIM card back in the phone and try to restart it, and I'm gonna try to rerun the test. But this time I'm going to connect to Wi-Fi, and that's provided only if the phone starts, because I just hope it's gonna start. It had enough battery, by the way. I hope I didn't really fry it or something. Jesus, this ain't good, guys. But again, it's a real review, so I wanted to show you exactly what has happened to me. If you decide to buy this thing, By the way, I bought this with my own money, guys, so it's not like one of them Temu sponsored videos. I tried it all, guys. I can connect it to my PC and I know it's working. The screen is not working, but hey, eventually I had to consult the user manual and it says here, reset the whole. When the machine is in an abnormal situation, it cannot be started for charging, it can be reset. Do not operate under normal conditions. So guys, you know, there is this thing here. I really hope that, can you see it? I really hope that this is going to be the reset hole. I'm going to reset the hole. I'm going to take the provided SIM card slot ejector and hopefully this is going to work. Oh yeah, there is a soft button, by the way. There is a soft button, 100%. Now, what is going to happen? I mean, how long should I kind of hold it? All right, a few more seconds. All right, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Please start because I want to finish my review. Oh my God, yes! Woo! Yes, it works. Oh my God, guys. Jesus Christ. I thought that I just spent like 65, 70 euros almost just, you know, in the river for nothing. But no, here we are. I'm gonna rerun the test now. For the sake of testing, I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna try to start the CPD T platform test once more, and hopefully this time, you know, this phone will survive it. And I do believe, guys, that the test crashes exactly at the same point of time, like 60%. It crashes beyond any further repair, so I need to resort again to this trick and yeah, reset the phone. Okay guys, now we know that the phone cannot survive this test. But hey, stay tuned here for me to show you the real things, like real YouTube usage, real gaming, real browsing, because this little baby still has something to offer. And if you are a fan like me of small phones, then for sure you can appreciate this. Alright guys, now we're here. Let's talk about some real usage. In the original firmware they have provided a browser, but I don't like this, so I'm gonna use this opportunity to download Chrome and walk you around. So now I'm inside Play Store. First thing you need to know, guys, this is a tiny phone. So if you want to use the keyboard like this, yeah, it can be rather challenging. And I have rather big hands and big fingers. By the way, you know, it's not impossible, but there is a learning curve. So I've been using it for almost like a day and a half. You can always go and use this in the landscape mode. And in the landscape mode, it's going to be a bit better. But just so that you know, if you want to type on this phone, yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard until you get used to. So it's gonna be nerve-wracking until you understand how it works and you kind of really get used to this. So now I'm going to install Chrome. All right, I'm gonna click here and yep, now I'm gonna demonstrate how quick I can work with with this keyboard. Again, guys, learning curve is there. Once you master this, yeah, it's going to be just fine. Now, let me see if I'm able to start the test. All right, start testing. As you can see, this really takes long. And guys, not that there is any way of comparing this, but I want to really show you how this test works on the Snapdragon 8 Elite, you know, with like a proper, real good premium smartphone. That is the Vivo X200 Ultra, right? So you can see it's a bit different. And you can see, right, usually this is gonna take some seconds also on a new modern phone, and it's gonna take like forever to run on a phone like this. But it's important to understand if this thing will kind of break the phone as the CPDT test, or it's going to sustain. Right now, just seeing what happens, I think that the phone is gonna be able to sustain. But this is what, let's say, the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite will do. And this is a chip from almost 11 years. This thing here is 3 nanometers. This thing here is 28. So this is an ancient MTK MediaTek SoC inside, but it's still able to give you, I guess, some performance. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stop it, guys. The whole point is, yes, this thing works and you are able to browse certain things. Let me show you some other stuff. So let's just go and open some websites. Can you pinch and zoom, by the way? You can. Okay, let's open something more interesting, guys. Let's open this article here from Google themselves. Android 16 is here. You know, you can really zoom out, zoom in. You can copy the text if you want. So this is really what the browser performance is gonna get you. Now the other thing I wanted to share is what about YouTube? I mean, you can see it's pretty okay. It is of course also choppy, but in general it ain't that bad. All right, so this is Shorts, and you can see I can just scroll back forward. Yeah, it plays. By the way, let's see what options do we have here. All right, it's 360. Can I do more, like at least HD? Not that it really matters on a screen like this, but just for the test. 720p, guys. Okay, 720p is gonna put a lot of strain on the chip. Oh, no, it's stabilized. This is what you're gonna see in the video. I'm gonna do a full unboxing and a review. And as I'm I wanna rotate it. Yeah, it works. The display ain't that bad at all. And by the way, you can check all the viewing angles like this, all right? And also left and right. Well, let's wait for the video to get stabilized, because the accelerometer thinks that I'm moving the phone, and I actually did move the phone. Once the video is stabilized, I think that it will do the job. So let's say you're doing some repairs on your car, you're gonna, get a quick tutorial, any like quick how-to. Why not? I'm really impressed. I thought that the display would have been really worse. This is it, guys. This is the maximum volume. It's really weird, guys, because this looks like speakers, but the sound comes from here. It's really strange, guys, because this thing here looks like speakers, but there is no sound coming in. The sound is coming from here, so it's maybe just a design element. All right, let me shut up. Yeah, so this is the sound. Again, it's nothing really that impressive, guys, but it's there and it works. Now, what about phone calls, guys? Let me just open my phone and I want to dial my operator to just show you how this thing can be used as a real phone, because remember, it's still a phone. We have a standard dialer here, right? This is the speaker volume, and by the way, guys, yeah, you're also able to record your calls. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let me just stop recording. Yeah. All right, so yeah, this thing works, and kind of hilarious that it's using the YouTube Music as the music player up, but you can see it's kind of neat. And by the way, guys, something that I think is cool, all the icons here are so big, right, that you're going to be able to see them. So guys, what about the camera? So the camera is very basic. As I told you, we do have a back camera. This thing is fake, this thing is fake, and this is the real camera. How do we know? Like if I put my finger here, right, everything is blocked. And if I put it on any of the other lenses, yeah, it's just here for beautiness. And guys, now once I'm here, it's a surprise, but yes, there is a front camera. And of course, you're also able to take photos with the back and the front camera. Now, let me guide you to the settings, and then I'm gonna play some videos and photos for you. So you can save GPS location info. You can also compensate the exposure with +3, which is good, I guess. You have some color effects, so it's very basic, but you have mono, sepia, you have negative. And then also, guys, you have some scene mode, okay, in case you want to shoot it like night or sunset or party. You can modify also the white balance, some options there. And there are some image properties, so the sharpness and also the hue and the saturation, brightness as well, contrast, so you can go from low to medium and to high. And there is also anti-flicker. Those are like the general settings. Those are the photo settings, face detection, auto scene detection. You can set timers, and you can also try to set a custom ISO. How sweet is this? And last but not least, we have the video options. You can decide to use or not use the microphone and choose the video quality, 720p, 480p and QVGA. Now I'm gonna play some video samples for you guys. I'm gonna show you some photos, and then we are going to continue with the other things, such as games. This is the video from the Soyes XS16, guys. It can only do 720, all right. But this is just impressive. with the MTK from almost 11 years ago, right? You can still shoot video with this thing, and again, it's gonna be a big compromise, 720p, but for this small form factor, I'm thinking that's not too bad at all. Now, this is the back camera. It's also important to see if we can use the front camera and shoot a video. Let's try. And this is the front camera. Yeah, it still works, 720p. Highlights all blown. This is how it is, guys. The back camera does also support a flash, which is, I think, impressive in a small phone like this, having a 2 megapixel front camera, 5 megapixel back camera with a flash, right? So at least you can try to memorize some things. And this is the front video. Nothing really impressive here. The only impressive thing is that it works, which for the small form factor is a clear win. Now it's time for some games. This is Asphalt 8, guys. It's not even the most recent version, but I just wanted you to see and experience what is the feeling if you want to play like a graphically intensive game that is even not the most actual version. So as you can see, straight from the launch, you know, without tuning any of the settings, it's not gonna be great. Alright, it's game on. So let me try to, oh my god, you see, it needs some time to stabilize the environment, but once the phone stabilizes, you can see I'm also able to use the accelerometer to just get all my coins. I can do all the jumps, and it's not gonna be that bad. All right, and just in case, you know, I can double my moves, my gestures twice to make sure that I'm gonna make it. Oh, this was a bad thing. All right, let's see if I can recover from this. I guess not. I have to be very quick. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So now that we've seen almost everything from the Soyes XS16, guys, it's time for the final verdict. And it's going to be tough, guys, because as much as I really want to like the product, this is not something that I'm going to use on a daily basis. But there are use cases. You know, you have an expensive phone, like any of the expensive phones out there. You go to the beach, you don't want to take it, although, you know, you have the nice Gorilla Glass and the Chinese drunk glass and whatever. Or let's say you go hiking and you just need to have like a backup phone. There are many use cases like this. Or let's say you have a child, you want to give this to your child because it's only 60 euros, and you can install Family Link and also call your child, and then your child can have access to some, let's say, learning apps. So it is really suited and aimed at those use cases where you don't really need to rely on it 100%, but you need to know that it's gonna be there if you need it just in case. So I do believe this is a very good small phone for just in case. Can you daily drive this? Honestly, not really. I mean, it's too small, right? And a bit too laggy. But the thing is, for what it offers and for the 65 euros, we have Android 10, right? We have compatibility as of now, 2025 summer. Almost all the Google apps, if not all the Google apps, works. There are some things like the Geekbench things that don't work. It's not part of Google. And we've seen also that with some stress, it might eventually heat up and then just crash. But luckily, we have the option to reset the whole as per the guideline. And honestly, guys, it's a stylish phone. And remember, they're also giving you a screen protector and a case. The case isn't the best, it sticks around like this, so I would just rather use it without a case. So this is the full review on the Soyes XS16, guys. I really hope they have enjoyed this video, and if that's the case, guys, you can just go and watch some of my reviews for more fun. And if that's the case, I'm gonna be more than happy if you go and watch some of the reviews for the proper phones that I did. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, VST over, and bye.